Hi, how are you? This is Jilly Bling. Today's project is another one using the bundle Blessings of Home, and then also for some word options I'm using Peaceful Moments. And this project, last night I went to sleep after doing the sample and I love it, and I kind of one-upped it. Does this look like a canvas print? See the texture on there? And yeah, it took a little while to color, but it's just beautiful. So there's that one. And then look at this one. Does that look even more like a canvas print? See how vivid the colors are? And I'll show you how to do that in just a minute. I really like how this one came out, so I'll be doing it this type of canvas print rather than this canvas print. But they're both beautiful. A little bit on the inside. And when I was coloring these, I tried to, the background is so saffron, I tried to make this in the warmer tones with oranges and yellows and colors similar to that. And I love it. I love how it came out. And the new green, Parakeet Party, love that. And then this one I tried to do in, the one we're going to do today is in cooler tones. But this one I tried to keep it in so that the edges of the flowers are a little bit white so that it would stand up against this outline. Let me see. There's a little bit of an outline, and I'll show you how to do that here in just a minute too. Okay, but today's, I have a whole bunch of markers lined up here. And don't worry, I'm not going to have you wait through all of the coloring. So here's some things that we'll be using. We'll be using Tasteful Textile embossing folder to make it look like it's a canvas print after all of the coloring. And I'd like to do one landscape this time. Boy, there's not that many papers. So let's take the paper base, fold it in half. And we can attach, this one I have it on dimensionals. This one I think I just put it down flat. I think I like the dimensionals better. Let's do that. So a few dimensionals. Okay, how about 6? I can't wait for you to see this one. It's just, it's so fun, so pretty. Then this. That's for the inside. Okay, so we have that. So now it is stamping, and I like the beautiful day one. What a beautiful day for love. And here is the big flower bouquet. So I'm going to do that in Memento because we're using the Stampin' Blends. So get that well inked. Then I'm going to try to have it over here to the side as much as I can, allowing room for the sentiment. Oh, isn't that pretty? Okay, and since I have the ink out, this is the inside. So how about a little flower here? And then a little bit in this corner. The more I stamp, the more I have to color. That just, it comes out so nice. Okay, done, done. Oh, the words. And I think I'm going to leave the inside with no words, so you can write whatever you like. Okay. So for the coloring, let me pull all these back, and don't be intimidated. And you don't have to do this many colors. So like I said, when I was coloring the first one, I tried to do it in the warmer tones, oranges and yellows, just warmer colors. This one I was focusing more on the leaf, the petal edges being white. And on this one, I don't know if you could tell by the colors. Can you see them all? I try to have them more in the cool tones. The purples, there is a yellow in there, but that's just because the paper base is yellow. And I have one of these already done, but don't fret, I'll show you how to do it. It's pretty, isn't it? Okay, and then for the inside, using the same colors, you're like, are you really going to color all that? I have it half done. So on here, whenever I start out coloring, and you could do the blends however you like, but I like to do the dark color first and then go back and do the lighter color. So on all of these, I have the dark already done, and for instance, on this one, wherever Stampin' Up! The stamp has the dark shadows, that's where I put the dark, what is that one, Flirty Flamingo, or the dark Fresh Freesia. So now to finish this up, I'm going to take, well, looking at this big flower, I'm going to take Flirty Flamingo Light and fill it all in. Do a second layer, and then go over the seam, and that's what will make it blended. Okay, layer one. See, so I did spare you from coloring all of it, but this is going to take a minute. But I'm most excited about doing that canvas a little bit. Okay, that one, yeah, that's part of the flower. Sometimes it's hard to know, and you have to look at one that may be stamped a little bit different, or maybe even look at the stamp case and see if that will help you figure out what piece is what, or even like go on Pinterest and find where someone else colored it. 'Cause sometimes you don't know, is that a leaf? Is that a nothing? Is that a continuation of the petal? Okay, 2 layers. Okay, so that part is done. And when you look at all the samples, this flower, I think every time I did it in a different color. It's a beautiful flower. And some of my gardening enthusiasts, they probably know exactly what this is, and they might be saying, I don't think that Mother Nature makes those in Flirty Flamingo. So you could be realistic if you like, or you could pretend like this flower was in a pot and it drank food coloring, flower coloring dye, and it became this color. Maybe this one is always white, I don't know. But today it's Flirty Flamingo. And I don't know what all these flowers are. The first project, I thought, oh, there's just 2 different types of flowers. And that's a baby one, and then that's an adult one. But then when you look at it, the petals are all different. I think my marker is running out of steam here. But I'm almost done with this flower. Yeah, they're all different. Oh, and this one I did darker leaves. I think my new favorite is that Parakeet Party bright green. I'm liking that. Okay, so Flirty Flamingo's done. What else do we have? Orchid Opulence Light. This flower I thought, it's a little bit too dark, but it's okay. So the other day I was looking for a birthday cake, and I went over there and they have vanilla cake, chocolate cake, and then they have all the different fillings. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, do you want a tiramisu cake? Do you want a cream? Do you want it to be chocolate? Anyhow, the reason I say all that is this card right here. This is my fruit basket card. It's got everything, all the colors in it. The other ones, they have a little bit more of a theme. So saffron, have to use that because the paper base is that color. Maybe I should have done saffron as a flower center color. I did all of mine in kind of brown tones because I didn't want them to stand out. I wanted them just to have the flower shine. I'm not sure what I got going on right down here with the pink. Okay, I'm just going to make it freesia. I think that might have supposed to be air. Okay, I can't wait to show you this next step. To make it canvas. There was, a few years ago, another embossing folder which was really perfect for this. I forget the name of it, but it's funny, I refer to it two ways. I'll tell you the nice way, kind of nice way. It's like a paper towel. It just had a print on it. This Tasteful Textiles, it also has a very similar print on it. But that other one was a little bit more like a crosshatch pattern. And I said to everyone, it looks like a paper towel. I also said it looked like Kotex feminine hygiene products. And so then it automatically became referred to as the Kotex embossing folder. I shouldn't have said that. I need to learn how to edit videos. Take it out of there. Some of you are probably laughing because you know exact one I'm talking about. Okay, and a little bit of balmy blue, and then the leaves. So these leaves are shaded spruce. It's like night and day difference. There's either bright green ones or deep, luscious ones. Okay, now to the green. Sometimes I find, oops, I forgot to color that. Hopefully not today. Oop, I got the other point. See how it does. It's good for getting in tiny areas. So the outline on this, I did it in Smoky Slate Light, and a few other times in the past I've done an outline. I liked it when we had Seaside Spray. That was good for outline. I've done it in Crumb Cake Light, and that's nice too. I think it just depends on what the finished product will look like. The crumb cake looks good on vintagey cards. Seaside Spray, that looked like a nice shadow in just about any card. Coloring and coloring. So see, at first, did you feel gypped? Like, you're not going to show us how to color, and now you're like, okay, you should have colored more. But it's going to be worth it, trust me. So I put a picture of this on Instagram, and then it automatically feeds Facebook. In Facebook, I have a page, Stampin' with Jilly. And a few people have commented, oh my gosh, that's so pretty. And even Ruby said, I just might. She doesn't like coloring. I just might try that, or I think I can handle that. I think it's just because it's so pretty. And you could color if you don't like coloring. If you do like coloring, you're going to be like I've been, waking up dreaming about this. You could color and make it the one with the white, and there's not quite as much to color. I can't wait to do that. Okay, stay on task. Okay, so now is Smoky Slate, and I'm going to put it in, I like the other end. What do you all like? Do you like the brush end, or do you like the bullet end, bullet tip? So this, I'm just going to kind of outline it. Try not to do more than one layer, but if you do that, it's fine. Because we're going to take the color lifter and kind of blend it out to make it soft. And when you do the color lifter, it's not like a perfect graduated like ombre soft look. It kind of makes it a little bit freckly and spotty, but that's okay for this. But it's kind of a good lesson to see how that works, how the colors blend, because then you know what to expect when you blend, for instance, the leaves, the two different colors of shaded spruce. It's like you know what it's doing when you blend the two colors. So I'll show you in just a minute. And also when you're doing the blends, try not to hover too long on the black line, because the memento is intended to be used with the blends. But if you hover too long on it, it smears it, especially if it hasn't had much time to dry. Like if you stamp it and then you get right to busy to coloring. Okay, so I'll explain what I'm doing here. So you saw how I did the Smoky Slate light all around the outside edge. So now I'm taking the color lifter, and I'll hold this up here close in just a minute. But I'm purposely going on the outside edge first of the Smoky Slate line, and then kind of drifting in toward the flower. And there's a reason I do that, is because the color lifter is just like an alcohol marker. There's no pigment in there, and it will somewhat make a puddle of just liquid, and the pigment from the marker goes somewhere, and many times it creates like a heavy line. Okay, so here we are. So I'm going along. Let me make sure you can see. There, yeah, you can. I'm going along the outside edge and then in toward the center. Outside in, outside in. Because see this heavy puddle of color? I could go back and kind of get that gone. But you can see right there where I stopped how there's a heavy bit of the Smoky Slate. And I don't want that. That I colored too many times. I made it almost all the way gone. The great thing about the blends is they will make about 90% of the color change. So 90% of this will go to clear to white. And what it's doing is it just pushes it down through the layers of paper. If I were to flip this over, you would see exactly where all the Smoky Slate ink goes. It all goes right there to the bottom of the paper, through the layers of paper. But it becomes saturated. So if you keep coloring over and over, there's nowhere for it to go, and it kind of puddles right back up to the top. And you can always like see how it's a little heavy there and heavy here. Just hit it once, give it a second, go back and you can hit it again if necessary. But it takes a few seconds for it to do its magic of sinking into the paper. If you've colored with these and if you've experienced all this, all of those words make sense. If you never colored with the blends, you're like, you're talking in a different language. So see how it's heavy right there? Let's go over it. Come back to it in a minute. Heavy here. I don't know what that is. Okay, that's good. And I'm not trying for perfection. I like it just as it is. Kind of little freckled. Okay, time for the magic. This is a front embossing folder. Hold on. I have on some new slippers. They're a little noisy. Okay, so there we go. That's like the first sample. That is like this sample. Just a little bit of texture. Can you see it? There you go. It's like a canvas print. So now, to get it fancy schmancy, to figure out where the camera is on this thing. There you go. Okay, so, not hard. Versamark everywhere. Look how bright it already makes it. Can you see the difference? And this works if you're doing watercoloring and you put the Versamark over the top and the clear powder. It does the same thing by just making it really vibrant. And if you don't get full coverage, if you miss somewhere, that's okay. It's kind of accentuating the embossing folder too. Okay, you ready? Clear embossing powder. It's so pretty. I hope you could see it as pretty as I can see it. Or maybe I'm looking through rosy colored glasses. I don't know, but I'm loving this. And first time, I don't care if there's powder in all the wrong spots, because it don't matter. We're going to cook it all. And what's interesting is the clear embossing powder, I would think it would dry hard, but it's kind of not tacky, but it's definitely not like this hard. Looks like I missed Versamark ink, but that's okay. Okay, have to get this out of the way. Not that I've blown powder all over my room many times. Okay, is your mouth open? Are you saying to in your head, oh my gosh, that is so pretty? Did you see when it was changing from the powder to like the clear? See, it's a little bit, not bad. And it's Stampin' Up! Clear embossing powder. But look at a difference. This is more kind of pastel, but look how vibrant that is. Okay, kind of geeking out here. I'm loving that. Okay, markers. We did good today. Okay, now it's just time to assemble it. That powder. Where'd that powder come from? So regular paper, I could use liquid glue, but ooh, just tape runner is fine. But for the outside, because of all the coloring and all the texturing, I think tear tape is in order, or liquid glue, or my newfound, which has been in my drawer all the time, Stampin' Seal Plus. This stuff is sticky, because see how it's kind of warped a little? To be expected. So I will use some of this, trying to get it as close to the edge as I can. On the first one, I just did liquid glue, and that worked out okay, but I had to keep holding it and pushing it down. And it ended up working just fine, but I like this. How did I get embossing powder everywhere? Maybe I should heat it from under. Okay, it's still a little warped. I'm just gonna pretend like it's straight. Oh, it's not sticky, but just a little tacky. Not bad tacky. What's the right word? My hand is hanging up on it. Okay, so there is our canvas work of art for today. I hope you like it as much as I do. Have a great day. Give me a thumbs up. Bye.